Report. R&B artist Akon denies claims his crypto city dream is crumbling. Senegalese-American artist Akon reportedly reassured participants in his so-called Token of Appreciation (TOA) that they will be reimbursed for donations. To back this promise, the singer reportedly claimed he is even willing to do a world tour just to pay them all back. Akon, however, conceded during an interview that he should have gotten more things in place before promoting it. Akon City, launched in 2019, Akon's TOA was given to his early financial backers. The TOA was not only a precursor to the Acoin cryptocurrency, but it also reportedly gave support.
I can guarantee you it's not a scam. I'm gonna show everyone that it's not a scam. We want the big skyscrapers. We want all of that, because my goal is to try to build something that people deem impossible in Africa, right? I was raised in Senegal, and I was more out in the rural areas. I think the one thing that I would have changed was I would have gotten more things in place before promoting it. Because one thing I realized was that, especially in Africa specifically, there's a lot of people that's not knowledgeable of how these things work and the processes that it takes to, to build a city, or a process that it takes to, successfully, pull off a project this large. And even myself, I was learning a lot moving in. I learned a lot as I was going in, but I would have definitely had a specific timeline as to when to unlock certain information so it actually worked with people's expectations. But ultimately, the idea is to make sure that the buildings that are there can be not only sustainable, but they actually work for the environment, and they're actually usable in so many different multiple facets.
So what will your role be in Akon City and the Acoin project moving forward?
My role more so is pretty much creator, ambassador. I plan to retire in that city. I want to make sure that I'm, fully involved in the process of, things that's being implemented there. I don't like to use the word the king of the city, but that's what it will turn out to be, And I'm hoping that the city eventually has so much impact that I can actually influence politics in the country to allow better things to be managed properly and things to be handled a certain way that I feel that would benefit more of the people.
It's been talked of as the $6 billion city. Mm-hmm. So how much will it really cost?
Now, that's the thing. When I first pretty much put together the estimate, that was the estimate I put together, which was $6 billion. But I was like, whoa, this might not be enough. No, I'm just joking. But ultimately, as we got the professionals involved and more people, and the people that kind of did this knew what it was, I kind of did a roundabout figure, but with their with their expertise and kind of doing what they needed to do. And as the studies came back, we realized it might even scale out as we go, because it is a city and it won't stop at the 55 hectares. So we decided to start with the first 55 hectares, which will come to probably approximately 600 million actually to start.
I'm sure you're aware of reports in the Senegalese media that the Minister of Tourism in Senegal said either you respect the lease agreement on the land or the project will be reassigned to other investors.
Right.
So do you still have the confidence of the government?
Politics has always been one of the biggest blockers of anything that forwards economy or the people. I would have unlocked information as things moved forward, because unfortunately, because of me promoting it before we got started, we never anticipated COVID, where everything would be pushed back 2 years. Because the beauty of it is, while we were doing that, we were still working with potential partners. And it gave us actually, a huge advantage, because then I was able to really, step back and evaluate companies that we can really partner with, that understood the terrain, that understood Africa, that had, real credibility in projects globally, but also had the experience to bring the kind of people we needed on board to kind of get that project going. Because had that not happened, I think I would have made some really fast decisions that I started making that allowed me to kind of wind back and say, whoa, hold on for a minute. Because I'm glad that happened, because had it did not happen, I would have made some decisions I probably would have had to unwind for sure. But now we're lined in with all the right people.
We sent a team down to see what Acon City was like,
Right.
to speak to people there, and what we encountered was that some people were disappointed by the delays that they were
Right,
experiencing.
right.
We
Yeah.
spoke to old people, some of them were concerned they would never see the city.
Right,
We
right.
spoke to young people, and you'll know this, a lot of young people there have their qualifications, they're very excited about the presence of a city coming into their lives. What assurances can you provide them that this is going to happen?
I think with the elders, it was a slight bit challenge in the beginning because there were so many people that occupied that land before us, you know, and never did anything with it. And I completely understand. And I actually, you know, I was riding with them because that was one of the reasons why I grabbed that land in the first place, because it was just prime land that was just constantly being taken advantage of for political agendas. So we wanted to be the first to actually do what we say we were going to do with it. And when that delay came, it naturally made everybody alarmed, because before the delay they saw boots on the ground doing studies, doing this and that, and all of a sudden they just stopped.
Okay, so when will we see construction work start on Acon City itself?
So the construction work, that is yet to be fully calendared. We'll start creating a scheduling according to when the studies all come back. So from the environment, soil studies, all kind of studies that I don't even know what studies mean anymore. But ultimately, once they get all the results from there, then from there they'll kind of do what they do. Engineers will get all locked in, and then from there they'll put together a construction schedule according to when the studies all come back.
Why did you decide to create your own cryptocurrency in the first place?
It bothered me, you know, not to have a currency that was strong enough to compete with the global market in Africa. And it all stemmed from how the currency is built, because none of it is built with African hands or African involvement or African leadership. Everyone's just following suit. So my idea was like, we have to at least create something that allows a little benefit to where we can at least grow, you know, build a token or a coin that we can tokenize ourselves just from our human resource. If just every millionaire or billionaire in Africa just banked in Africa, that will at least give us some kind of leverage to at least create a credit system or allow us to be able to loan from the money that we're putting in to build certain structures or infrastructures, or advance our healthcare system. All the things that we're fighting for, it's all because of just not having the proper currency or a currency that's strong enough to give us the value we need just to survive.
What assurances could you provide that Acoin would be legal tender in Acon City? Because I'm sure you're aware that Bank of West Africa say
Right.
that such a project could be illegal to
Right.
conduct.
Well, see, those are a lot of the concerns even I have. I want to make sure that however we involve crypto within the city, it's in a way that it lines up with all the rules and regulations that it would necessarily do, to where it doesn't affect the city at all. So we've been very, distant according to how to relate that right now, until we